Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. This year marks the 61st anniversary of the Munich tragedy, and if you are watching this on February the 6th, this is exactly 61 years since Manchester United had its soul torn out when we lost the Busby Babes, the greatest team we've probably ever had. And today isn't a day about fancy graphics or transfer news or who's going to play at the weekend. This is much more than that. If you are a Manchester United fan or you are somebody who respects Manchester United, then today is a very important day and it's part of your history and it's something that you really should take the time to learn. We've got an interview with Paddy Crerand. Paddy Crerand played for Manchester United in the 1968 European Cup final win, the resurrection of Sir Matt Busby's Manchester United, the journey, completion from what he'd started with the team that he lost. A very interesting interview with Paddy, and I think you're absolutely going to love it. And also a little bit of a nugget at the end, which he says he's never told anybody before, which if we've gotten that as an exclusive on the United Stand is amazing. Sir Matt Busby told him the best player he'd ever managed at Manchester United, so hang in there for the end of that. We've also got an interview with the Red Docs of Manchester and Manchester Munich Memorial Foundation. They're the doctors who work at the hospital over in Munich and do great work for this. We've got a link in the video description as well, Manchester Munich Memorial Foundation. They're trying to raise £6,000. I'm sure on a day like today or any other day, the United Stand community will contribute to that. The link's in the video description for that. So please give what you can and let's make a real impact on that. But today is a day to remember, and today is what our club is all about. Wrongly or rightly, I heard something at the weekend actually, and I'll leave you with this before we go to Paddy. And that is that if you lose something that's important to you, and I'm talking like people here, I'm talking about grief, the most important thing is to grieve. To open your heart to it and grieve, because if you don't do that, you won't remember the good things and what they stood for either. You cannot box yourself off to the tragedies that happen in life, and when you do open your heart to it and you let yourself grieve, then you see the good as well. And there is good where Manchester United have journeyed back from, the things like the Manchester Munich Memorial Foundation. Manchester United did rise from that absolute tragedy 61 years ago. And we are a unique club, and I love it, and I know you love it as well. So listen to what Paddy's got to say, and I have got another video for you coming up at 8 o'clock tonight, which I think you'll find really interesting as well. But I'll leave you with this, and please do contribute what you can through the link in the video description.
Welcome to the United Stand, guys. I am here with an absolute... Should I say it? No, I have to, Paddy. I have to. They need to know, the younger viewers, Paddy Crerand, winner of the 1968 Cup final. Played with the best...
Not just me. There was...
Yeah, I know, but you're here right now. You're here right now.
There's some of the others. We're not all dead.
All right, we'll talk about current day. MUTV as well.
Go on.
MUTV. We're here at the Manchester United Munich Memorial Foundation. What an event it's been today.
It's been fantastic in actual fact. And I mean, it was great to see. I don't know if anybody knows young Anthony Crawley. He's a boxer. He's at a dinner somewhere here, and he's come across because he heard we were all in here. And he's a massive United fan. Great to see him. But it's fantastic that you just admire the fans so much, because you're looking at working class people that's paying out fortunes for football. You know, it's just. Well, I suppose that's Manchester United for you, and the fans they've got, they're incredible.
It does. I mean, it was obviously slightly before you, but I mean...
long way before me.
When you speak of the Busby Babes and that incident and how it defined our club and what it meant to our club, what does that mean to you?
It means everything, in actual fact. I saw that United team play before. I was a kid in Glasgow, and that team was famous in Glasgow. You can imagine there was Rangers and Celtic, the rivalry, but everybody knew United, and everybody to a certain degree supported United, particularly being a Celtic fan as I was as a kid. Everybody supported United because of Matt Busby and some of the players. Let me tell you a story about Duncan Edwards. I saw Duncan Edwards playing in an under-23 international at Shawfield Stadium. Now, you don't know Shawfield Stadium.
No, I don't, yeah.
Team called Clyde that played there. There was a lad played for, what was his name? He's out of my head. Played for Bristol City, John Attio. He got injured and went off, and they allowed subs on then. So they brought a sub on. Duncan Edwards was left half. They moved him to centre forward and brought, I can't remember the midfield player to come on. Scored 4.
Just like that.
They won 6-1. And I'm supporting Scotland. But you're looking at this player, absolutely incredible.
For those, the younger fans, and even people who may not know, Duncan Edwards, you hear this name, and you hear your Bobby Charltons and your George G. Bests and stuff, but what was Duncan Edwards?
Incredible. I mean, people have this illusion about him being a 6'6", but my height, 5'10", as strong as a Knox. That old ball they played with in those days, it was between 14 and 16 ounces. But
imagine header in that.
No, but when it rained, it was about 14 to 16 bloody stone it was nearly. And you were that's why people got certain problems after that.
Of course.
But I seen him playing at Celtic Park against it. And he'd get in the ball, left half position, pinged it 50 yards straight at the right winger's feet. And you're looking, you shouldn't be able to do that, but he could. Yeah. He was just an incredible player. And out of all the terrific players that United had, but he stuck out amongst them all.
1968, you know, you fast forward after that, 10 years after the crash, you know, we get that first European title.
Yeah.
What was that like? I mean, we spoke off camera and you said, yes, it was you in 12 hours and etc. But I'm here with you now. What was it like?
It was fantastic in actual fact. And I think every United player that went onto the pitch and came off the pitch, the first thing that came into their mind was 1958. You know, about they possibly would have won the European Cup that year if the disaster hadn't happened at Munich. They were a great side. I think that was the thing that was in everybody's mind. And I mean, Matt was fantastic after it, God rest him. You know, there was a song going out at that time, What a Wonderful World. I can't remember who sang it, you're too young to remember. But he never stopped. We had a banquet that night, and I had organised this banquet in the Savoy Hotel in London. We didn't know whether we were going to win or not, but the banquet was there anyway. But it was just great that United won, and Matt never stopped singing What a Wonderful World. Wasn't the best. It was no Frank Sinatra.
But the words still resonate, you know, in you.
but it was great. It was great for the supporters more than anything, great for the fans more than anything. Because it was Matt's dream, but it was a dream of every United fan that United should win the European Cup.
We've had a chat, you know, off camera just before, but you know, some of the best players you've played with, who comes to mind?
Oh, George was incredible in actual fact. He was an incredible player. Unfortunately, finished too soon. He should have still been playing when he was 34. Never been finished at 24, 25. The unsung hero for me was Nobby Stiles. Nobby Stiles was 5'7", played alongside the centre half. Abused you like you wouldn't believe if you'd done something wrong, he was at you.
Yeah.
He was at everybody. If anybody made a bad pass, his language wasn't the best, as you can imagine. But he was a far better player than people gave him credit for, because when you think he played in the World Cup team in '66, and he played as a midfield player. And when
he was a centre half after that. Yeah.
And he played with United. He was alongside the centre half. That was it. That was his position. But what a great player and a great lad as well. But it was great. Dennis Law was a fantastic player. I remember being out one night. I shouldn't be saying this in actual fact. I've never said it out loud before. We were in a restaurant in Manchester long after we'd finished playing, and Matt, God rest him, was there, and he would never ever say who his best player was, but his best team or anything like that. And he came over to the table, and there was about 5 or 6 of us. None of his players. Well, I was the only ex-player there, but family and friends. And I says to him, boss, who was the best player you ever had in your life at Old Trafford? He never even hesitated. Dennis Law.
Straight away.
How did you know that?
I could just feel by the way you were saying that would be the player.
That's what he said, Dennis Law.
Without a hesitancy.
Without even a hesitancy. And I said that all the great players you've had, said Dennis was the best.
I'm joined by 2 very special guests from the Munich Red Dogs. I mean, for our viewers at home and far and wide, I'll start with you, Stefan. What is it exactly what you guys do from the Munich side of things in terms of the Munich Memorial Foundation?
Okay, we are fans from Bayern Munich, and we have a fan club where Mark is our president. And we take one of the things what we do is we take care of the memorial. We go there, we pick up the souvenirs what the people let there at the memorial. We see that it is clean, that the flowers, that the Bayern München ordered the flowers for the memorial every month, new flowers, that they are okay, that they are delivered. And all these things, it's for us a pleasure to do it. And we have in the museum on at the Erlebniswelt from the Allianz Arena from Bayern München. We have a replica from this stone, and this was do it by Mark, and it is a very big honor for us to be here and to be your guest, and this is for us is. For me, especially, I'm originally from Argentina, and I'm a little older than Mark.
Okay.
And it's to be here in Old Trafford, to be here in Manchester United. Here is where football was born. All my life, I was a football fan in Argentina, in Germany, in Bayern München. It's a very big honor. It's a very emotional for me to be here.
Well, we're very, very happy to have you. And as Stefan says, Mark, you know, you spearhead that side of things in Munich. And how did that come about? How did you take that responsibility on in terms of, these guys, what they're doing is looking after the memorabilia that's left at the Munich crash site. How did you come to take that on?
Well, the thing is that the initiator of the memorial, Hermann Memmel, is a friend of mine, and he has good connections to FC Bayern Munich and to the city of Munich. And so even before we found the Red Dogs Munich, my family was already taking care of the memorial. So my idea was that our football fan club is something more than a normal fan club, to have some more idea. And well, we come from Trudering. This is the district where the air crash was, and so it was quite a close thing for us, and obviously to take care of the memorial.
I mean, I've been to it, like I've said in the interview we've done just before with Jane. I came for the 60th anniversary last year. It was my first time going out to tutoring into Munich, where the Manchester Platz is, and you stand around that area and the airfield around it, and you feel that something, I don't want to say amazing, but you feel like something in history happened here. And I just want to thank you guys, and I'm sure Manchester United fans around the world would echo that, to take that on by yourselves, to take that responsibility on. We really appreciate that, and are very happy to have you guys here.
Yes, last year, this year, when there was 60th anniversary, we went also with a group from Manchester United, from the fans from Manchester United, to the hospital where the survivors of the accidents were helped. And I met the doctor. He told me I was assistant doctor to this time. Wow. I was here when the survivors were here, and I assisted him, and this was very emotional for me. This was great to see after 60 years a doctor who take care of the people. And in many places, not all the people in Munich know about this accident, but this is seen there with big respect, and Manchester United was ever a big event for us to say that they are there, and it's great for us.
It lives on. I mean, as he says, it's absolutely. It's amazing the work you guys do, and we really, really honour it. You guys have been honoured today. You've had some special mentions from Harry Gregg as well, some memorabilia given to you. Yeah. Just to finish off, I mean, the fans at home, maybe younger fans who have never been to Munich or who maybe don't know a lot about it, what would you say to those fans in terms of that disaster and what it should mean to them?
Well, it's a big event for our history of Manchester United, but also of my hometown, because I think that changed a lot of also between England and Germany, because there we saw after the Second World War that we're all humankind. We have to work together. We have to help each other, And I think that was a great moment. And so in my hometown, especially in Trudering, we will never forget that event. And to do that, just for the information for the viewers, we try to improve even this area of the Manchester Platz. We want to build up there a showcase where we show all these items we pick up, or some of them, to get a museum directly there at that place. And we started an online petition where you also can subscribe everywhere from the world.
The link, we'll make sure that link goes in the description for that petition as well. Yeah. We will.
And well, we have to convince the Council of Munich that we are allowed to build up that. And well, we need help, and then we can. But I think together we can make that true.